Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back for another episode of Portal.
The Enrichment Center is committed to the well-being of all participants. Cake and grief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test. Thank you for helping us help you help us all.
Cake and grief counseling. Interesting. So we're at puzzle 15. And it looks like it's gonna be a big one. There's a lot of stuff going on. Toxic water, and no eye wash stations, and particles, and flinging ourselves. I guess the thought that the toxic water is not part of the experiment possibly isn't accurate because the signs seem to indicate it is. Of course, maybe it was just regular water before and it became toxic, or was made to be toxic. Alright, so first part of this puzzle, we have these major 3 emancipation grids, wider than we've seen before. We have this, which has been a visual indicator before that we want to put a portal there and fling ourselves through it. And we really don't have anything else, just the floor and these walls and this. So this is one of those get your body moving puzzles. You click here, fall through it, and there. Now that was just a lucky bit of placement there. I did not really line that up. I figured what I was gonna have to do was shoot it as I was falling. Usually you do, but I just happened to be in the exact right place, and so we got our way through. Now, could I make our way back through is an interesting question. Yes. It would be pretty difficult to not get your way through. To make it so I couldn't go could only go one way. If they were going to make a Portal 3, I've said this several times, having grids that only allow true transversal through one way, so you could only go one way through a grid, couldn't go back, might be cool. Make puzzles a little bit more difficult. So that's the first part of the puzzle, but then we're in a whole different room. This could have been its own puzzle. They could have had 20 puzzles if they had just put a door here and said that's the end of the puzzle. But instead, we now see all this other stuff going on. There's like an elevator to another room. You can't shoot through the glass to get into that room. There's an emitter. There's a receiver. And so we have an emitter here and this here. Now what this puzzle is teaching you is when you place portals, they disappear when you go through an emancipation grid. That's what the little shake is when you have portals. See the shake of the gun? Just watch the gun one more time. It shakes, it loses its glowiness. So I can't shoot a portal through here, and I can't put a portal here. So I've somehow got to get a portal here, and theoretically over there, but I can't really do it all in one motion, because they'll just walk through it, and then that part will be gone. So this is actually a bit tricky to do. You can do this just fine. And actually what you really want to do is do this so it leaves the dot everywhere you want it to go. Alright. Now it's going to require a little bit of speed. I got to put one here and one here. I have to walk through the fence, put one where the dot was, which helped me, and where the red light was, which helped me, while the particle beam was bouncing back and forth. And so you had to be kind of fast because the particle beam will eventually devour itself. Interesting, the sign here is blocking the ability to make a portal. So this platform is trying to lock us in. Of course, I can just walk through the portal and be right back out. But if I hadn't put the portals here, I would have been now locked. So that's 2 puzzles, really. We could have been at 21 puzzles. But it's just saying this is all one big puzzle. But those rooms aren't really going to connect, are they? Now we are in another place where we gotta fling ourselves. And then what's a secondary area where we're going to fling ourselves. The reason why we gotta fling ourselves there is because we cannot get any portals here. So I have an orange portal here. This is a new icon too. It's saying, it's specifically instructing you, you've got to push the portal when you fall. If I walk through here, I land right here. I can't put a portal right there. I've got to get a blue portal. I've got to get my momentum up so I can hit at least right here. And you're not going to do it just by jumping. Jumping might get you a little bit further. It does actually. Just having a little bit more. The only way you're going to get it is... I remember this puzzle actually being one of the more frustrating puzzles for me. Because a lot of the skill I'm showing here, I'll actually claim it as skill, is through having played this game several times. It was very frustrating for me to get through that part. It took me about 20 or 30 minutes the first time I did it. So if you're having a little bit of trouble, don't feel too upset about it. But this is also kind of the hardest part, one of the hardest parts of flinging yourself, is learning how to do it and be good at it. Now, really they've now combined the last 2 puzzles together. We want to get this to... is all we want to do. Now, if I had put the orange thing here, the thing would have hit the wall here and bounced around and potentially killed you by just bouncing around in random directions. So that would have been a bad thought. If I put the blue portal here, maybe if I put the blue portal right here, it would come in straight and go out straight. That is a thought, but that's certainly not what they wanted you to do. They wanted you to put one right here and right here and let them bounce off these panels. They want you to start thinking at 45-degree angles versus 90-degree angles. Alright. Of course, now how do I get out of here? Let's see. Find a nice path and see if we can do it. This part of the puzzle is obviously trying to teach you, you don't need to have a platform that is outstretched like this to do it. You can make yourself jump on any of the walls. You might have to go in 2 or 3 cycles. Alright, and so now we have hit... That was 3 puzzles all in one. We have done 3 puzzles that are all supposed to be the same puzzle. So we could have been at like 22. Now, notice the platforms are going backwards. Notice here, it is going under this platform here that would have just knocked you off, would just knock you off into the water. And there's no way to portal under here and get around. But there is a way to get around this. So I'm gonna be using the blue portal when I walk through here. And then what I do is I ride it back to the entrance here and then jump through the entrance. So I placed the blue portal, so now I have an orange portal. So I'm slowly progressing. So I want to put a orange portal. If I was really fast, I could have put the blue portal, the orange portal down, then jumped right back through the blue portal, if I felt like it. But we can take it slow. Just this little area here of poison liquid. So it's definitely important to remember which color you placed. And so we are out now, and we are in yet another puzzle. This is all the same one, according to the numbers. Episodes are going to get longer now if all the puzzles are like this. If you've enjoyed the short episodes so far, thank you, but unless I see an elevator, I don't see a reason to end it. Well, I'm gonna have to find some good points to potentially break up episodes. So we have this little point, and then we have a 1 button, and then we need a 2 button to be open too. So over here we have a 2 button, and then behind it the receiver. So we've got this is real point where speed is going to be a matter. As soon as one of these particles blows up, I need to have it go through a portal here. Then I need to change this, and put this here, put this here. And is it fast enough? Is it fast enough?
Did you know you can donate one or all of your vital organs to the Aperture Science Self-Esteem Fund for Girls? It's true.
One or all of your vital organs to Self-Esteem Fund for Girls. Self-Esteem Fund. So they sell you organs and then they have money to build the self-esteem of girls. Interesting business this company seems to be in. Seems to have some crazy thoughts. Also, heavy focus on girls. I know that you're a female character and that was a big deal in this game. I want to see more powerful female characters in all video games. And actually, I wanted to see if it is a story game that actually requires that the character have only one gender, unlike Mass Effect where you can play as the main character and have both genders. That would be the ideal thing. If it's a story game, I want to see 50% of the games to be male, 50% of the games to be female, so it's nice and balanced. But better off, I'd rather just the Mass Effect style where you can pick your gender, you can pick your species, you can pick everything you want. and it only takes, sometimes it takes a little bit more writing, but not a lot of writing. It's 2015, girls can date girls and boys can date boys, so you don't have to write your story character as one specific gender. So that's my hope for 2015. And since I'm doing this view of Portal from early in 2015, my other hope is that there are more puzzle games like Portal, that there are more puzzle games in general that remind me of Portal. And we've kind of started what good with the Talos Principle, and I'd like to see some more. I'd like to see some more efforts and thoughts that way. This was a really long puzzle, so episodes may get longer now. This was teaching us what in particular? Timing. That we're gonna have to do timing. But just this room was a puzzle, and then getting to this room was a puzzle, and then getting through the room before that was a puzzle. We've done like 5 puzzles that were all under the number of 1. And I don't know why the creators Valve is the creators, by the way. I've said they and the creators a lot, and I haven't mentioned the name is Valve for just no reason, really. I just haven't said. I don't know why Valve didn't break this up. Why does it say 19 instead of 25 puzzles? Does the game seem too long and irritating if the realization is made early on that you're gonna have to do a bunch of puzzles? I don't think so. I think if it said 0 of 100 and then you did the very first puzzle and it went 0 of 1, that would be fine. But in the Talos Principle, they really don't tell you off the bat how many puzzles there are going to be, and they don't make it so you have to beat all of it. Portal, certainly as a more story-oriented game, makes you do all of the puzzles. There are some Easter eggs that you can do extra, like we did trapping ourselves in the room, but you have to do all the puzzles. There's no point here where it says press a button or do this and you'll get the easy ending. No easy ending in Portal. There's only one ending in Portal, and you have to do the entire game to get to it. So a little bit of different in philosophy. I think Talos wins on the thought of hiding the numbers. I think even Portal kind of admits that by really we've done 25 puzzles, but it says we've only done 15. Or really there are 25 puzzles, but it says only 19. I think that all makes a lot more sense to not number them. Also, you've limited yourself. If they were going to come out with a DLC and put some side quests, no side quests in Portal. No opportunity for side quests because you named all the puzzles, you numbered them. So where could you put the side quests? You can't put them anywhere. You can do prequels and sequels as DLC, but nothing else. And since Portal is so old, there was no thought whatsoever of DLC. They of course didn't even know Portal was going to be successful. They were just putting it out there and trying, but no thought whatsoever of DLC in Portal 1. Portal 2, I don't think they ever came out with any DLC, but they did try to continue to support the product by adding like community-made maps, I think, maybe. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. We haven't learned a lot about the story. We're still not to that point yet. As always, I ask that you like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of the videos, because all of that helps me out. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Google Plus or Steam or Battle.net for Hearthstone. All of that information is down in the description. We are done. Have a good evening.